I suspect that you might have a different view, David. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is a scheme that shouldn't happen. I mean, it's all very well to talk about compassion, but the thing is, a lot of people who are classified as unaccompanied migrants are 16 or 17-year-old boys who are coming over. They know what they're doing. They're planning to come over to anchor themselves in the country. They come just before they're 18, and then when they get to 18, then they can claim the benefits and play the system. So the thing is, what this is doing is completely playing into the hands of criminal gangs and people who are working the system, because they know, and they're getting advised from people in groups like Care for Calais, do this, do this, do this, come to this place, claim this, claim that, and they know what they can do, and they're getting rewarded for coming over, and they're not genuine asylum seekers. There are lots of people who are playing the system, and I don't think we should giving them a lot of money. No, if I can just finish, there was a lot of people. Yeah, I'll just a couple of seconds. There's a lot of people who are playing the system. They're doing this. They know they're getting rewarded, and this is just another reward for people who are playing the system.
So 2 points. One, the facts don't bear that out. 85% of people who come here and claim asylum have refugee status awarded. So the vast majority are genuine. Point two, the people we're talking about here are children. You can say they're 16-year-old, you can say they're 15-year-old. They are children.
How do you ascertain their age?
That is at the point when they come and claim asylum. That's
So a 25-year-old could turn up and say that I'm 17 and a half.
A 45-year-old could come and say that, and it is down to the judgment of the Home Office to make that call. Frankly, the number for an adult to claim to be a child, that can happen.
This happens a lot.
It can happen, but I'm going to contend that happens in the minority of cases. This scheme is targeted at children. And one of the kind of key points here is that we are actually only discussing this scheme. There's only going to be a number of... The only reason it's been extended in this way, the only reason there's going to be a number of migrants involved is that we have these huge backlogs in our asylum system. We have 132,000 outstanding decisions. It takes 20 months before an initial decision. 10 years ago, it was 4 months. If we had shorter decision times, then either the children would have leave to remain and they'd be in the scheme just the same way as their peers are, as the kids born here, or they'd have their status revoked and then they would have to be moved out of the country. The driver here, the real issue, is that whacking great backlog, which has just grown and grown and grown.
Yes, but the backlog is so big because the volume coming is so great. We're at 5,000 this year already. So isn't there a part of you that's slightly concerned that actually, if what you then start doing is increasing funds available, that actually it's going to be counterproductive because by your own logic, the backlogs are huge already. If you start incentivising, I mean, no one should want to incentivise learned children cross channels. Aren't you worried that you might have a counterproductive outcome?
Two things there. One, the incentive for a lone child to cross the channel, it's not about whether someone gets benefits here. It's about the scale of terror from where they're coming. Well, from where they're coming from.
Which is France.
However they're getting here.
No, but they're coming from France, though, aren't they? So the scale of terror that they're subjected to in France is pretty much non-existent.
No, because people don't come exclusively via small boats. People claim asylum coming into this country from multiple routes, and it's a myth to say that the majority of asylum seekers are coming just across the Channel from France.
Some are coming from Belgium, yeah.
But and then in terms of that backlog, it's not, if we can get that backlog down, if we can return to a situation that used to be 10 years ago where claims are processed, then this whole situation becomes much, much easier to manage. Yes, numbers coming have risen, but the numbers coming to the UK are a fraction of those that come to other countries. 191,000 came to Germany. They've got a backlog, which is
a fraction. We live in Germany, we live in the UK.
A fraction of the backlog. It's about the state's ability to do basic functions like process claims.
Germany can't cope either. There's way too many. They've got the same situation as us. There's a lot of pull factors. There's a lot of reward if you get to Germany, just like there is if you come to the UK. Sweden's another country. In Norway, they're target countries for people who want to come through a lot of safe countries like Croatia, Italy, and then France, or Croatia, Austria, Germany, Belgium, and then France, to get the benefits that they get here. This is just going to increase increase the pull factor, and it's going to make the backlog larger, like Michelle said. So we need to not go down this scheme.
What undercuts what you're saying is, again, that basic fact: 85% of people have
that's too many, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot of people who are granted asylum who shouldn't be granted asylum.
But that's judged by the Home Office, which is hardly the most compassionate department, or a department which
clearly it is. If they give 80%, if they give 85%, clearly they are. But they're giving asylum to a lot of people who shouldn't have it.
Because they deserve asylum, because they're fleeing places like Yemen, Iran, Syria. These places with 98%
loads of people are coming from Albania, and they're coming from other safe countries as well, and coming through France, and they're getting
Albania's a really good example, because we have a returns policy with Albania, like we used to have with the EU. The numbers from Albania have been brought down because people who are not going to be granted, who don't have their status approved, are being moved back.
We used to have that with the EU. We
don't have that with the EU. If we had things like that, if we had legal routes into this country, the pressure, immediate pressure at entry points into the UK.
There are legal routes from Afghanistan and Ukraine. We're taking a lot of people from those countries.
Right.
But yeah.
This conversation, everyone, will rumble on and on.